And the two with the worst records will be those who have to feature in a playoff. Brescia and Fiorentina currently locked on 28 points. Brescia at home to Sampdoria today. Udinese, who are away to Roma, they have 29. And Genoa are on 30. Genoa winding up their fixtures at home, no less, to the champions, Milan. A gripping finale to the season. And certainly an afternoon of high tension in Florence, where the unthinkable relegation from Serie A is a genuine possibility for one of Italy's most famous and respected clubs. Stefan Effenberg on the left there as we look, the captain of Fiorentina. And his opposite number, Andrea Seno of Foggia. Alongside me is our expert summariser today, is the former AC Milan striker Joe Jordan. Joe, what do you make of this one today?
Well, from the point of view of Fiorentina, it's going right down to the wire. There's nothing other than 2 points will be sufficient for them to do, and even if they do get that win, they'll have to wait another results from elsewhere to decide whether it's Serie B next season for the first time in over 50 years, or whether it's a playoff, or whether they remain in Serie A. It's going to be a game of nerves, of tension, and the players, all the players that we know out there, and I think, and if you look at the Fiorentina line-up, there's famous players there. It's how they handle the pressure, and this is what it's all about. There's a tremendous pressure on these players today.
Fiorentina as a club have gone to extreme lengths to help the team in their flight. Last week, the club spent £100,000 hiring special transport to convey some 8,000 fans to the match with Torino in Turin. So you can imagine the relief there when Batistuta snatched that late equaliser in the dying seconds. Foggia and the stripes kicking off and attacking the goal to our right. And this is Brian Roy, transferred from Ajax back in November. And he has been playing up front with Kolivanov, the Russian, but he's been left out today, Kolivanov. And isn't featuring among the substitutes either, although there are only 2 overseas players, so we can only presume he's picked up an injury. Kolivanov, who's been playing well of late, 3 goals in his last 5 appearances. And also missing is Petrescu, who is on the bench. So that indeed, yeah, just looking through, that's the 3rd overseas player, Petrescu, the Romanian, who normally wears the number 2 shirt. And that has gone to Pierluigi Nicoli today. The changing goal, Mauro Bachin has replaced Francesco Mancini. Mancini has had a temperature during the week, so presumably not fit enough to take his place today. Free kick to Fiorentina. It's Orlando there, winning 10. Effenberg pulling it on. Nicoli, given away though by Medford, who's had a lot of problems with injuries this season, the Costa Rican, that's hardly featured for some time. So a bit of a shock seeing him in the lineup today, but this is Effenberg for Fiorentina. Dangerous cross in, Batistuta almost on the end of it. Now Orlando. Fiorentina stacked with players of flair and enterprise. But somewhere they've gone off the rails during the season after a really promising start. Laid off by Mandelli. Off goes Roy. But safely through to Maragini, the goalkeeper for Fiorentina. First choice for some 3 seasons now. Glorious day in Florence and a really volatile atmosphere. Covering by Facenda, will be one of the markers at the back. Here's Laudrup. And Fiorentina really need him to turn on the style today, Joe, as well as Effenberg, Di Mauro, the other players of real class in the side.
Yes, you're correct there, Pierre. I think like Laudrup and Effenberg, as we've heard in recent weeks, have come in for a lot of criticism for the Fiorentina press, media and supporters. And above the players like that who have had tremendous careers at club level and international level, who have played in big games. But this is a big game. Maybe there's not a cup at stake today, but it's survival in the Serie A, and that's big time here. You know, a club like Fiorentina can't afford to be in the 2nd division.
Xhaka This is Carnashali, whose form has been one of the really bright spots in the Fiorentina side this season. It was a mistake by Pachenda, which Brian Roy was hoping to capitalise on, but Pioli came across. Pioli, the other central defender. And he has been doubtful during the week because of a thigh injury, but presumably has recovered sufficiently. Challenged by Carnashali, who was called into the Italian squad for the recent game against Switzerland. He didn't play, but clearly very much in the thinking of Arrigo Sacchi. Brian Roy. This is Seno, the captain. Well, can't help by Lupi, former Juventus player. Now Seno. Give off Carnashali. Just hearing the first goal of the afternoon. It's Cagliari 1, Pescara 0. Soli has scored the goal for Cagliari. Down in 7th place. Pescara, of course, the bottom side, already relegated. It's Batistuta now, very much the idol of Florence. Away goes Laudrup. Effenberg's in the middle. Cut out by Di Bari.
No, I think he'll be annoyed with himself there, Laudrup. It was a great opportunity. Effenberg had made a great run into the box, and if he judged his cross right, that was an opportunity there for Fiorentina.
Laudrup with the corner. Di Mauro in the 6-yard box. Up goes Batistuta. And Pachenda couldn't quite turn it in. Batistuta with the header, and Pachenda struggling to reach it. Hearing too that Lazio have taken the lead against Juventus. A goal from Diego Fuser. Off goes Batistuta. The flag was up anyway.
I noticed there Batistuta getting caught offside. You'll see.
To stay with this attack for a moment, Joe. It's Baiano with Batistuta up in support. Baiano shot off the post, and it's squirted away from Effenberg as he came hurtling in. Orlando. Oh, frustration then for Fiorentina. An early goal really would have settled them down.
I was saying there, Fiorentina, they play with a back four there, and Batistuta get caught offside, and that could be something that it could be important this afternoon there. If people like Batistuta and Baiano can beat the offside, they push up. They're very prone to sometimes pushing up too far and allowing themselves to be caught.
This is Medford. Good ball in too, and it may well have come off Carnashali as Roy arrived as well. Here's the effort from Baiano, which the goalkeeper seemed to lose for a moment, and he was rescued by the post. And in fact, here the decision in favour of Fiorentina, who have been very, very shaky at the back throughout the season. Indeed, only the bottom two, Ancona and Pescara, have conceded more goals. And that, of course, was Foggia's main problem last season, but they have tightened up a bit in this campaign, but haven't scored so many. Seno with a through pass to Brian Roy. And as you'd expect, plenty of urgency being shown by Fiorentina with so much at stake. Up by Pioli. This is Di Mauro. Good skill shown then by Di Mauro, the Italian international, and Baiano just offside. It's a dangerous game Foggia are playing.
Yes, you're right there, Pierre. It is a dangerous game, but they've worked at it not only this season but last season. I think they've learned from last season where maybe they're playing against more of a quality of player, and they're not as risky as they have been in the past. But all it needs is for them to get it wrong once. And Fiorentina have got the players with the ability to finish it off.
Laudrup's pass was an excellent one. On from Effenberg. Batistuta! He was offside and he's tucked it away. Goal number 15 for Batistuta. And what a a vital one that could prove to be. No offside this time, sprinted clear, and a critical finish from the Argentine.
Well, Effenberg has played a fantastic ball there, and you've got to admire Batistuta. With all the pressure that's on him and his team, he takes it, first touch, he set himself up, and he just places it in the corner in the end. I'm sure that's what Fiorentina want. We're no more than less than 10 minutes into the game, and there we have it. We've got them 1-0 up, and now I wouldn't say they could relax, but they can go about their business now and try and increase their lead.
7 minutes gone. Batistuta makes it 1-0 to Fiorentina. The man whose late equaliser last week kept alive their hopes of staying up. Now he's got them off to the perfect start here. Medford. Lupi with the attempted clearance. It really has been staggering how Fiorentina have slumped down the table after their early flourish. Remember, second place around Christmas time. But it's all gone wrong since then. But now they hope to put it right and stay in Serie A. Ibari was the last defender there for Foggia. This is Seno. One of several players in this side who was playing in the lower divisions before his arrival at Foggia. And the coach has done a splendid job, Joe, hasn't he, in assembling the side at Foggia.
Incredible, you know, when you consider the players that have left Foggia, you know, Signori, Baiano, players like that. And he has brought players in from the lower divisions and maintained what the expectation was at Foggia, which is to remain in Serie A, where you've got a team like Fiorentina who spend million upon million, and their expectation from the public there is a minimum, is a UEFA place, and here we are in the last day of the season where they have got to win and expect results elsewhere to go for them to remain and have their status in Serie A next year. So I think if you look at the coach and what he's had to work with and the money he's had to spend, the man's done a phenomenal job, and it's no surprise when you see that the clubs that are interested in taking his services elsewhere next season.
Among them, Fiorentina. So Atletico Madrid have expressed an interest, and Roma. Xhaka. Dibiagio. Good work by him. A really talented player. Searching out Mandelli and finding him. Goes Effenberg. Now then to Laudrup. Pachenda's gone forward again to Orlando's pass. Studer just too long for him, thanks to the alert goalkeeping there of Bakin. Laudrup with the throw. Effenberg. Use of a second goal for Cagliari. They're now 2 up then against Pescara. Oliveira with the second goal. In case you missed it earlier, Lazio are leading Juventus by a 1-0. Diego Fuser, the Italian international, with that opening strike for Lazio. Not sure if Gaz is playing. We'll bring you news of that later. Shali. Goes Orlando. Coming over by Dybali. Now Xhaka. Seno. We're looking at all the possibilities before the game as to how it all might end up today. I was told there were 81 different permutations, so I gave up. We'll, of course, keep you posted on the other matches affecting the relegation issue. I think the odds still favour a playoff to decide it all. Xhaka. This is Nicoli. Now then for Seno. Really hard-working player on the Foggia side. Leads by his own example. Not this time, off goes Carnashali. Effenberg ahead of him. Away from Kaeli. Effenberg.
I noticed that Peter Effenberg is very prominent in the early stages of the game, not only with his distribution of the ball there for the goal, but also the runs he is prepared to make.
Well, he was playing so well earlier in the season, Effenberg. Like the team, rather lost his way, and of course he's come in for all the abuse along with Laudrup in recent weeks and threatened to leave the club. Seems to have changed his mind for the moment. His only task now is to help keep Fiorentina in the top flight. Xhaka. The ball through. Jeffrey lost some pictures there. We apologise for that. They didn't score. Now Roberto Baggio has equalised for Juventus against Lazio. 20th goal of the season, and he scored it from the penalty spot. This is Medford, who I think might have problems adjusting to the pace of the game today. He's been out of action for some time. And of course, in the last World Cup for Costa Rica. It's your lot, Joe. I think the Scots.
I don't want to mention that one. I think that's a sore point.
Xhaka. Joe was watching the test match yesterday and said that you're losing, I noticed he said, rather than we. It really was the best possible start for Fiorentina. Had so many problems in recent weeks. And they were 2 down against Udinese, and then Stefan Effenberg scored twice to pull that one back to 2-2. Of course, they were struggling last week for the dramatic late goal from Batistuta, who has given his team the lead here today. Now, 2 important scores from the other matches involving the relegation issue. It's Brescia 1, Sampdoria 0. Negro, the scorer there. And Genoa are a goal up at home to Milan. Pericola, and a goal for Genoa. Free kick then to Fiorentina. Effenberg directing the operations. Referee Boggi today. Salerno. This is Pioli. Finding Orlando. And the pass he released sums up his season. He just hasn't fulfilled his potential. So much expected of him when he left Juventus, having not featured in their side. Up against Batistuta. 15 goals at his tally this season. It's a fair return, particularly from a side who have had so many problems. And he'll be featuring soon in the Argentine side in the Copa America. Good interception then by Carnashali. Effenberg. Down up in support. Mauro, and again that Foggia defence has come streaming forward.
If I look at Fiorentina there, I think the play they're trying to work is that they're trying to play the ball in the middle of the park and getting runners going from wide positions to try and beat the offside.
Here's Roy. Pachetta trying to clear. Di Biagio. Tackle again by Carnashali. Contributes so much going forward, Carnashali, but reminding us there that he can defend as well. Roy, outmanoeuvred though by Effenberg. Now Laudrup. And a foul by Xhaka. It's all happening in the Lazio game, incidentally. Juventus have now gone in front. Vialli with the second goal for Juve. Di Mauro. Maini to Xhaka for Foggia. One back by Batistuta. Effenberg. And again, Baiano is offside, but it's a dangerous game. Not too much in that one. Baiano, who's very, very sharp around the penalty box. 8 goals this season. Well, he hasn't scored now in 13, but he has still been laying on so many chances for other players. Running by Caini. Roy. Caini. This is Mandelli. Resident defending, but not enough from Facenda. Mandelli's cross. And tucked out of the air by Maragini. Well, they are playing this offside game, Joe. In fairness to Foggia, they've got plenty of attacking ideas as well.
Yes, they have. They've got players up there that can do a lot of damage. No disrespect, but Fiorentina has not been their strongest point this season. The number of goals they've conceded. So if they can get the ball forward and get the ball to players like Roy, you know, with the Fiorentina defence as it has been, it's got a lot of criticism. They could create something from it because they don't look the securest defence even today.
I think Bakken looked too secure there. Never mind, he's got away with it. With 20 minutes gone, Fiorentina leading by a goal to nil. Batistuta on 7 minutes. Xhaka seeing plenty of the ball in this first half. Trying to release Nicoli. And they certainly do push their fullbacks forward down the flanks, Foggia. Nicoli on the right and Caini on the left.
Yeah, regarding Caini, that is his strong characteristics, his game there. He's a player that will be prepared to go up and down that left wing all day long.
There's Roy trying to link with Mandelli. Now Seno. This is Nicoli. Again supporting the attack well. Mandelli. Here's Seno. Useful ball in two. And Medford couldn't get on the end of it. Out by Di Mauro. Not very effectively though. Caini. And a foul by Laudrup. Caini from third division side, and he's made the transition rather easy to Serie A. Has indeed had most of these Foggia players. Now Xhaka organising the free kick. Diageo lining up the shot. No real chance from there though. Here's Seno. It hasn't been all one way so far. Fiorentina, no work to do yet. Now securing the 2 points they need to boost their hopes of staying up. All rather complicated down at the bottom end of the table.
I think with Fiorentina in the position they're in at the moment, in this particular game, 1-0 up, the danger is whether they decide to hold on it, which is sometimes the tendency and the mentality of the Italian team, or whether they go and search for the second goal, which would give them that freedom to maybe even enjoy the game, because there is tremendous pressure on them today. And I think if you try and look at it at 1-0, the fear is that you get to the last quarter of an hour and then you concede a goal and then you've lost it completely, not only the point but your whole season.
Well, I wouldn't think with their defensive record they can risk that really. Fiorentina just sitting back, having scored the one. They definitely need the cushion of further goals. They'll be under pressure here. This is Mandelli trying to turn Pioli. And that'll be a goal kick to Fiorentina. Had 3 home defeats. Facing a Foggia side who've had just the one success on their travels, and that at Pescara. Pacendo's goal kick. Seno wins it in the air. There's Lupi. Seno, not so long ago, was playing semi-professional football and eventually came to Foggia from Como. Orlando. Now Lupi's pass, finding Baiano. Away from Xhaka. Baiano's pass. The goalkeeper's had to come a long way out. He's not a regular in the side by any means, Bappin, the goalkeeper. So he's going to get used to this system pretty quickly with his defenders pushing so far forward.
Well, to be honest, Pierre, I mean, in the last 3 minutes there's been 3 offsides. And if you take the first one, it was right up at the halfway line. I don't think you can do that. I think, especially if you've got a new goalkeeper in who's got to be part of the defence. I just see Foggia, tactically getting it a little bit wrong, really. You know, you can't push up to the halfway line.
Di Biagio. Here's Seno. He's covering so much ground in this first half. Seno again, closed down quickly though by Di Mauro. Fiorentina fighting for every ball and fighting for their Serie A lives. £15 million start of the season, Fiorentina, hoping to build a side capable of challenging for a European place. It certainly hasn't turned out that way. This is Seno with the throw then for Foggia. Bedford. Now Seno. Xhaka taking over. Mandelli. Good work by him. Seno with the cross. And the flags up in favour of Fiorentina.
That's the second time Mandelli's has made himself available in the box here for a little ball played into feet. From a striker's point of view, it's a good run. It's a good run. And someone that a midfield player would appreciate, because he opens the game out, makes himself available to go and also to come and support them.
Fiorentina free kick taken by Di Mauro. 26 minutes gone in the first half. Seno seeking out Roy. Carnashali though had gone with him. Proposed defending and distribution by Malagini. Here's Effenberg now. Really need him to shine today, Fiorentina, and he's done so there. Laura onside. Baiano. It has to be. It's 2. The offside ploy was totally awry then, and Baiano has taken full advantage.
Yeah, it's been instigated again. It's been put through by Laudrup and he's put it on a plate, but it's been coming. You know, Foggia are playing a very, very dangerous game, and they've paid the penalty. There it is. It's been started by Effenberg again, played through to Laudrup, who's looked up, has put it, as I said, put it on a plate for Baiano, and I'm sure he'll get a lot of joy, not only in scoring a goal for what it means to his club, but it's against his old club as well.
Well, that surely will relax them now, Fiorentina. 2 up. Batistuta and now Baiano, 26 minutes into the first half. So much pace about Fiorentina, and they really exploited Foggia's lack of concentration at the back. But they're looking well placed in this game now. Xhaka. Again, well read then by Carnashali. Keeping a very tight rein on Brian Roy. Laid off by Mandelli. Di Biagio, and this is Caini. Again rampaging down the flank, and Medford almost reached that one. Here's Baiano. His first goal in 14 matches, that for Baiano. Former Foggia player, and that marvellous partnership up front with Signori. He's the chain-smoking coach, Zeman. Who's done such a marvellous job for Foggia. Chenda's kick. Well, the coach of Fiorentina, Chiarucci, will be feeling a lot happier at the moment. Their third coach, remember, this season, and they haven't won under his control. They're looking like doing that today. The offside trap has gone wrong again. Batistuta. The Foggia defence is all over the place. And just look now at the relief on the faces of these Fiorentina players, and indeed the fans packed into the stadium. Away went Baiano, laying it on this time for Batistuta.
Well, it's just too easy, isn't it? This is the second time that they've been punished. You think they'd have learned their lesson, but they have the two strikers laying one on for the other. And if Foggia don't get themselves sorted out, there's going to be a lot more. That's the pressure completely off Fiorentina now. They can go and relax, they can pick their time, they can make their runs, they can sit. But Foggia continues to push up as far as they are, right up to the halfway line, and not put pressure on the ball. When Fiorentina are in possession, they're in to concede more goals here today.
Disastrous defending by Foggia on the attack themselves now. And it's hard to see how they can haul themselves back into this game. Mandelli. You may recall in their last game of the last campaign, Foggia lost 8-2. to Milan. I think they were 2-1 up as well in that game. This is Pioli tackling with Mandelli, and the free kick has been given to Foggia. Right across the face of the goal. And there was a Foggia player in there, only needed a touch.
Well, that was an opportunity there. I think that's Xhaka there. It was a great ball played in, and it must have come through so many boys that he couldn't see it, but that was an opportunity.
Di Biagio, actually, but he, well, actually missed his kick. Well, again, there are wild scenes in the stadium. Presumably that's news of goals elsewhere, which we'll hope to bring you as soon as we get them. They're not allowed transistor radios in the ground. Somebody sneak one in. Goes Medford, free kick to Foggia. Medford, who hasn't got much change out of this Fiorentina defence so far. This is Xhaka. It goes Medford. Safely through though to Managini. We've got some goals today, Joe.
Yes, we've got goals, and as I said a couple of minutes earlier, if Foggia don't get themselves sorted out and restrict pushing up as much as they are, we're going to get a few more.
That goes Seno. I think you'd quite fancy being a Fiorentina striker today. Well, defensive setup.
Yes, you've got Baiano, who hasn't scored for a number of weeks now. He's got that one under his belt, and so is Batistuta. The two strikers have got their goals. They can relax, and I think they'll get further opportunities. And when you get strikers who have already got goals under their belt and their confidence is high, if they do get the opportunities, I would say that the ratio of them putting them in will be quite high.
This is Seno in trouble here. The foul by Pioli. He has had disciplinary problems this season. He was sent off on the first day. He's had 8 yellow cards since. And Seno took the full brunt of that challenge. Fiorentina in control, but facing here a moment of danger as Foggia line up the free kick. Maybe a chance for Brian Roy to have a crack at goal. Maybe in the mind of Maragini, the goalkeeper of Fiorentina. The referee Boggi is happy now. Biagio with the kick, laid off to Brian Roy. He's scored 3 times since his move from Ajax back in November, including a controversial goal against Inter when he elbowed the ball in and admitted so himself. Nowhere near the goal with that shot though. Brian Roy, who seems to be out of favour with the Dutch international team at the moment. Away by Pioli. Looking to send Maiano clear. Bianchini is there though. Roberto Baggio has struck again for Juventus. That's 2 for him this afternoon. Again, it's a penalty kick. So they're now 3-1 up against Lazio. Sounds quite a game in Turin. Pick off by Mandelli. Baggio trying to make progress. Foggia have made it very, very difficult for themselves now. Some pretty dreadful defending. Mauro. Complaining, I can't really see why. What did you make of that one, Joe?
No, I think that's the second time that Brian Laudrup has done that. He's spun the boy around, he's used his body to take him out of the game. I think the referee's quite right in giving that decision.
I think that came off Nicoli, indeed it did. In the eyes of the referee. Shaka with the pass there. Notwithstanding Nicoli, it was Orlando's tackle that earned his team the goal kick. Out by Bianchini. No one actually is supposed to know the scores of other games today. Not only have transistor radios been banned, the scoreboard has been switched off as well. So they're doing their best here to enable the players to concentrate on the job in hand.
I would say that's important, Peter, that the players are actually out there on the field. All they really want to do is to concentrate on their own game. I think they've got enough pressure and tension on them without having what they've got here, which is a result coming through, because the tragedy of the matter is that irrespective of the result here, it's what happens elsewhere as well. So, you know, the emotions that are getting shown by the public really is something that can be destructive to the people on the field. All they really want to concentrate to do is to win the game.
Well, somebody's got a radio, no question about that. I think Brescia have conceded a goal now against Sampdoria. Is that right, 1-1? Here's confirmation of that. Lombardo has scored for Sampdoria. So Brescia with a problem now. Sent off too. Now Brescia, Bonimetti, their experienced campaigner. But everyone in the ground then rose as one when the news came through. So, and this is one very loud radio. I think there must be more than one in the ground. I think we had radios last week with the Milan game. They're putting some music on. This is Seno. Bailey. Nicoli. Well, that's good defending by Effenberg. Just too long for Batistuta. He's prepared to battle for it. And almost exposed Dibari then. A loose pass by Nicoli. certainly putting himself about today. His efforts to endear himself again to the Fiorentina fans. There's talk that he may be going to Milan, maybe Juventus, Effenberg, if indeed he decides to stay in Italy after what has been a fairly traumatic first season for him in Serie A. Any thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, I think the first season for any foreign player coming into a place like Italy is a very trying experience on and off the field, especially someone like Effenberg who finds himself in a team that is struggling in the division. It couldn't be worse for him. But I think once you get through the first 12 months and you adapt and you learn to live like the Italians on and off the field, then I think the hard part's over.
I think you went down in your first season with Milan, didn't you?
I was
Nothing to do with you, I'm sure.
I didn't think you were going to bring that one up there, Peter. Yeah, I was. We were getting in the last game of the season in Milan. We had to go to Cesena to get to win, and we had to depend on results elsewhere, exact same as what Fiorentina have got to do today. We got the result at Cesena, but unfortunately for us, I think it was Genoa and Napoli, and Genoa went to Napoli and got the point that they required. And as it happened, from that result, that final result, we went down. So here we find Fiorentina in the exact same situation, and it's not really all in their hands. They're going about and doing their job today, but they depend on other people as well. It's a terrible predicament they find themselves in.
Orlando with the pass, and considering you didn't want to talk about that, Joe, that was a pretty good explanation. If the score stays there at the moment, I'm sure Fiorentina would have to play off with Udinese. That's how it stands at this stage. Piccoli with the intended pass, just shepherded it back there by Orlando. I think there's too much danger of Fiorentina losing this now, but with their defence you never know. But just to repeat ourselves again, it does depend on the other results. 4 minutes of the first half to go. Fiorentina leading Foggia by 3 goals to 0. 2 for Batistuta and 1 for Baiano. This is Seno. By Mandelli to Xhaka. Busy figure in the midfield for Foggia. Now Nicoli. Read though by Di Mauro. Batistuta. Sitting back Fiorentina, but clearly their ploy is to catch Foggia on the break, and they've done so very successfully on 3 occasions, with the pace of Laudrup in particular down the right. Effenberg. Away from Xhaka, and he had the strength to ride the challenge of Mandelli. He was fouled in the process.
I would say a player here for the first half anyway has been man of the half, not only in his holding of the ball, but his distribution and the runs he's made himself. He's setting things up. He certainly had a good game so far.
Brian Laudrup has flitted in and out really. I think he won't experience the same fate as his brother Michael when he was with Lazio back in the mid-80s. Lazio relegated. Michael was on loan from Juventus. Now Xhaka. Given away though to Lupi. It's an excellent pass through. Now is this another one for Baiano? It must be, surely. That's 4. 2 for Baiano. And Foggia once again in total disarray. Really cool finishing by Baiano.
That's a great ball played through to Baiano here, and he's made a great run. He's taken his time, he's made the goalkeeper commit himself, he's just went around him, and his execution is just a side foot into the net. And I don't think it'll stop there.
Well, not if Foggia continue to defend like this. Really can't do that against these players of pace and such composed finishing too. 42 minutes, the time of goal number 4 for Fiorentina. Now I think the half-time break break can't come soon enough now for Foggia, for their coach. There's a man who will have a few words to say about this first 45 minutes. They really have defended so naively, Foggia. Kini. Maybe only their pride to play for now, but surely they have that. They are in danger here of being on the end of annihilation. Di Biagio allowed to come a long way, and a spectacular save there by Maragini. Catapulted across his goal there.
That's been a fantastic save there, right? He set it off, what, nearly 30 yards, but it's right in the top corner. Maragini has save of the match so far.
Biagio with the shot, then he hasn't scored for some 15 games now to enter his tally of 4. Very close then. Up by Maragini. He's found Batistuta. Fiorentina launch another attack as we move into injury time now. The end of the first half. Here's Batistuta. A chance for number 5. And back in this time, defiant. You have the feeling, Joe, there's a threat of a goal every time they attack.
Yes, they've left themselves open. They are getting caught. I mean, they're sucking Foggia in and they're playing them on the break. And the crazy thing is that Foggia haven't learned their lesson. Maybe when the man Zeman has a word with him at half-time, he can put it right, because if he doesn't, they're in for an avalanche of goals in the second half as well.
Medford. So many gaps at the back, Foggia. Haven't managed to penetrate at the other end so far. Di Mauro. Here's Carnashali. This goes Laudrup. Towards Baiano, up by Nicoli. Here's Baiano. Now Orlando. That was over elaborate there. No matter, the end of the first half, and well, total command at this stage for Fiorentina. They lead Foggia by 4 goals to 0. 2 from Batistuta, 2 from Baiano. And well, it may not be enough to keep them up, but they are certainly keeping 4 times. Could have been more. May well yet be more goals too for Fiorentina in the second half.
The runs of Baiano and Batistuta to get through in an onside position. They have been caught offside a number of times, but you know, you've got to look at the goals, and I think all 4 of them have come from the tactic that Foggia have played, and it's been a disaster so far.
Aino to Diabaggio. Foggia's worst defeat away from home was 5-0 away to Inter back in 1965-66 season, and then again Bologna 66-67. They're certainly on a hiding here, and that record may well be broken. Fiorentina continue to turn on the style, but they attack Foggia with such venom. Di Mauro. Goes Seno. Now Xhaka. There's Di Biagio in support. Quite a few changes in the Foggia side today, and maybe that's unsettled them. They certainly haven't been sufficiently well organised. Play off end, and the shot coming through. And Maragini right behind it. Baiano. Here's Effenberg. That niggling piece of play has earned a yellow card for Xhaka. Oh, it didn't look that serious to me, Joe, wouldn't you feel?
No, I don't think it looks that serious. But maybe it's just the referee just clamping down before things get out of hand. You know, it's just started the second half there. And as we've seen from the first half, the Effenberg is the player that is controlling and is more influential than anyone else. And maybe the referee senses that that something could develop if they don't clamp down on it right away.
So the first yellow card of the game, led by Xhaka, who's regular at the side since around Christmas time. It was fairly prominent in the first half. It was at the back they had problems. Roger. Fouled by Di Baggio. Effenberg. So much has revolved around him. But not this time. Brian Roy. Xhaka. Now Nicoli. Here's Seno. Roy. There's Di Biagio in support here. Still Di Biagio. Seno. Now Nicoli with a chance to cross it in. And Medford, well, his control let it down there. Looking a little ring rusty today, Hernan Medford.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for him. There's a smashing ball in, and his control, if he got it right, he had an opportunity from 6 yards.
After the first game, he started since October, Medford. Very much out of favour. He's been the fourth foreigner, really. Behind Kolivanov, Petrescu, and now Brian Roy. But a corner then taken by Roy. Untidy defending. But a goal kick to Fiorentina.
Fiorentina now won't be in any rush to do anything or to allow themselves to be exploited. I think you'll see them just sat there on the 18-yard line and a little bit further forward than that, and allowing Foggia come to him and try and catch him, gain possession, and launch these balls behind their back four.
Orlando right straight into Nicoli. He's away now. Di Mauro. Neatly done. Still Di Mauro. Going to fight for it though. This is Lupi. Nice touch for the referee. Back to Baiano. And a free kick to Fiorentina. He was going nowhere then, Baiano. And I think it was Bianchini who pulled him down. Just time to bring you news of another goal before they take this free kick. It's Ancona 0, Atalanta 1. But it's Gantz has scored there for Atalanta. And Inter are 2 up against Torino. Shalimov and Sosa the scorers there. Now is Effenberg going to try one from here. This is Effenberg. And slipped harmlessly through to back in. Now by Facenda. That's Petrescu, the Romanian, warming up for Foggia. Certainly a surprise that he was left out today. He's been playing so consistently for them. Now Di Mauro with the pass, finding Laudrup. Tried to evade the challenge of Caini, but unable to do so. And it's the yellow card for Caini. The tackle on Di Mauro this time. Can't really argue with that. 2 fearsome tackles in the space of 60 seconds. Accuse Foggia of holding back there. Fiorentina will need to keep their concentration going, even though they have this 4-goal advantage. But really, realistically, you can't see any way back for Foggia now. Laudrup. Facenda. Lupi, Baiano, promising build-up, Lupi. And no real sting on the shot, and Lupi staying down too. Shali. Another huge cheer around the stadium, presumably another goal has been scored in one of the other relegation issue matches. And I think Roma have been awarded a penalty against Udinese. Still to be taken. Kessler is the penalty taker for Roma. And a huge roar, we'll tell you in a moment if he scored. Meantime, a substitution being made by Foggia. This is Brackley. Again, it was a shock really that he wasn't in the starting lineup. He has been a regular in the side and a pretty lively performer too, and he's come on for Brian Roy. Brescia have scored, I'm told, against Sampdoria, so that throws a different light on it all now. I'll let someone work it all out for me. And Petrescu is on as well now. I think Medford concentration there for a moment, but the other scores coming through. Yeah, Medford's off. And, well, those cheers will tell you that Thomas Hessler has scored for Roma, so Udinese in trouble now. And that could mean Fiorentina and Brescia will have to play off. All still to be settled on the final day in the Serie A season. Fiorentina wanting to make a switch as well. I don't think anything is going to affect this result here. It's what happens elsewhere now that really matters. The same little more urgency wouldn't go amiss. Shali with a throw for Fiorentina. Shali out by Biagio. Baiano, Laudra. Easy for Facenda. On from Lupi, trying to find Batistuta. Batistuta, maybe Baiano too. And wandered offside. Minutes into the second half. This is Mandelli for Foggia. Now Petrescu. Normally operates as a right back, but maybe push further forward with Nicoli at the side. Pioli. Bianchini, the last man there for Foggia. From back in, the goalkeeper. Bianchini again. Now then to Xhaka. Certainly Foggia won't want to go out on a whimper. They'll hope to raise something in this second half. A pretty woeful defensive display in the first. Seno, Petrescu. Half the goal was blocked. The referee saw nothing wrong. From Xhaka, pulled up here by Foggia. Petrescu now. Mandelli. Strong tackling again by Effenberg, but he's only given it away to Mandelli. Shali with a blocking tackle. Good distribution to finding Effenberg, and then Biagio was in quickly. Laudrup taking the throw. Baiano. Tackled by Bianchini. Bianchini, 21-year-old, who's had 4 bookings and 2 sendings off in his last 9 games. Even you weren't that bad, Joe, were you?
Oh, I think that's going well over the score. That.
Lupi. Di Mauro. Different wavelength here, though, to Brian Laudrup. On a little tame at the moment. Really needs another goal or two for Fiorentina to bring it to life, or maybe one or two for Foggia at the other end. Seno threading it on for Mandelli. Pioli had got with him. Now Seno once more with Xhaka. Burst again of pace from Laudrup. Now he's got Batistuta away to his left. Still Laudrup. This is Batistuta! And a fine piece of goalkeeping then by Bakin, who came to the rescue for Foggia as his defence was torn to shreds once more.
This is a great run here by Laudrup. One of the most difficult players you're ever going to come across in that sort of situation, when he's got the ball at his feet and he's coming straight at you. And towards the end, he does the right thing. He just lays the ball to Batistuta, and the goalkeeper pulls off a good save.
Really should have been a third goal for Batistuta. He'll be disappointed. And again, Foggia was so exposed at the back. Now Milan have equalised away to Genoa. Heaven only knows what that all means, but it's now 1-1. Genoa against Milan. Genoa down there struggling with the others. As the results are at the moment, it's Fiorentina and Brescia for the playoff, with Udinese relegated and Genoa safe. Mandelli, Petrescu rather, and right on his own goal line there, Facenda.
Well, this is Brian Petrescu turning the tables on him for once. He's beaten their offside trap, and I think that hit the post. I don't think that was a... He's given a corner, but that corner, I think it struck the post.
So some fresh hope for Foggia. Too much has gone right for them this afternoon. This is Xhaka whipping over the corner. Missed it out by Maragini, but it looked easier to have caught that one. Batistuta taking the throw quickly. This is Baiano. Effenberg. Now Di Mauro. Hustled aside though. And it'll be a free kick to Fiorentina with an hour played, and they still lead by 4-0. Ruben Sosa has scored again for Inter. That's his 20th of the season. It's Inter 3, Torino 0. Lupi bursting away down the left flank again for Fiorentina. Got out by Di Bari. Here's Seno. Bresciani's pass. Finding Petrescu. Had a really good season, Petrescu. Left on the bench though today. Orlando. Now Laudrup. Just stumbled slightly at the high for a moment then. Brian Laudrup. Now Effenberg. So much expected of these two this season. And it all looked very promising in the early stages. Scored 7 against Ancona, 4 against Sampdoria. And then maybe the dismissal of the coach had the unsettling effect. It really wasn't desired at that stage, just when they were pushing up near the top of the table. All down to club politics. As you well know, Joe, if your face doesn't fit.
Well, you see the consequences today for Fiorentina, even if they do win, which I think they are going to win. I there's any dispute about that. But here we have a situation that the politics in this particular club have been so drastic they could find themselves in Serie B for the first time in 55 years.
Now Milan have scored a second goal. That's what has produced the noise around the stadium this time. So it's Genoa 1, Milan 2. Jean-Pierre Papin with that second goal for Milan. And our statisticians are telling me now what? Fiorentina, Brescia and Genoa will all be on 30 points. Someone somewhere is sitting and working all this out. Out in Italy, he'll be having his hands full, getting in touch with it all. At the end of the day, we should know which two teams will be in the playoff and which two will be going down automatically, along with Pescara and Ancona. Maybe they won't need a playoff at all. Xhaka for Foggia. Seno. Charlie almost got caught by Mandelli, and I think the whistle had gone anyway for infringement there. Some shirt tugging. The referee has ruled in favour of Carniciali of Fiorentina. And this is Andrea Vascotto, wearing 15, and Valdrup has gone off. Youth product, just 4 appearances as a substitute during the season. 21 years old, getting his chance now with Fiorentina well on top, still leading by 4 goals to 0, and wondering just how their fate will be settled this afternoon. Baini with the throw. Here's Xhaka. Seno to Nicoli. Now Putrescu. The shot was charged out by Facenda. Xhaka though. And again the flag is up, so nothing would have counted there as Putrescu went rampaging through. Orlando for Fiorentina. This is Carniciali. Now Vascotto. The promising youngsters at the club. And it'll certainly be interesting to see which players do stay with Fiorentina. If they do go down, as still is possible. Maiano, I wonder if he'll be going back to Milan, who have loaned him to Fiorentina, having paid £4.5 million to Foggia for his services. Scotto with the pass, Capistuba to make nothing of it. On goes Xhaka. Brescia making the run through the middle. All read though by Facenda, who's been pretty strong at the back. Effenberg, a lovely touch off it to Carniciali. Good goalkeeping by Bakin. Jan Vascotto, I think it was, who went peering through. No. This is Seno. Baini. Effenberg. Played by Effenberg. Batistuta up with him. It's Batistuta now. Well, no question of a penalty. Fiorentina will feel they should have made more of that.
Yeah, I think Effenberg will be disappointed. After all the good work he put in there, he was just a little bit short with his final ball to Batistuta, which if it had been the right pace on the ball, would have given him an opportunity.
Petrescu onside, no, the flag's up again. Linesman just hesitated for a second there, no more than that. And Mandelli caught again. Not too much in it though, only just offside then. Now, just to bring you right up to date with the other scores and the position down at the bottom. Brescia are leading Sampdoria by 2-1 now. Udinese are a goal down. Genoa are losing 2-1 at home to Milan. If it stays like that, Fiorentina will be safe. Genoa and Brescia will play off, and Udinese will go down. I have to say, that's not me who's worked that out. I have someone telling me all this. And he's got about 5 people telling him. We've passed it down the line from 4 other people, and it's probably all totally wrong. But anyway, we think that's how it is. We'll stay with the match now. Effenberg. Joe Jordan's given up now with the, the permutations. It's impossible, really. Keep in touch with it all. Seems to be changing by the minute, Joe.
Yes, it is. It's a little bit like the Effenberg there. I see him on the field there changing positions, and the person has been asked to mark him has been given a thankless job, because one minute you find Effenberg there in the middle, they're in the engine room of the team, and then the next time he's out on the right touchline, and that player's got to decide whether he goes with him or not. And he is such a talented player, as he's shown today, that he can create and do damage wherever he finds himself, even outside on next to the touchline.
Well, depending on Fiorentina's destiny, I'm sure Effenberg, if he decides to stay in Italy, will certainly want to play in Serie A. Chances are he would end up at maybe one of the big 2, Milan or Juventus. I think they will be watching his progress with great interest.
Well, I'm sure that'll happen. I'm sure that either with Fiorentina, as one of the big 2 that you mentioned there, will come in for his services, or as I said, he will remain here. But I think after having the first season under his belt and the pressures that he's endured, especially in recent weeks, he'll be a better player for it. And as we've seen today, there's nothing wrong with the ability that the player has.
So to Foggia. They looked a little tighter in the second half at the back, after a few words of wisdom from the coach Zeman at half-time. This is Seno, the captain. Mascotto. Burst of pace then from him. Iano with the layoff. Mascotto couldn't make it. Bresciani. Seno. Movement ahead of him. Pacento was there. Lupi with the clearance. Towards Batistuta. Here's Baiano. A brace for him, and also for Batistuta. And this is Orlando now. And cheekily done. Oh! Fabulous goal. What vision then shown by Orlando. He scored only twice before this season. And he will take great relish from that one.
Well, he showed great composure, and I think that's if it just sums up the day for Foggia. You've seen the goalkeeper off his line. The weight of the ball is exceptional, and there it is. He'll be delighted with that, taking great pleasure in the skill that he's demonstrated.
Well, such awareness shown then by Orlando. That's Batistuta now injured. The Fiorentina fans with plenty to celebrate so far today. What will really matter, of course, is where they end up come the end of the afternoon. Orlando's first goal since November, and he hasn't been playing that well either. And he certainly lived up to all his potential with that piece of sheer class. That was where Batistuta was injured. be good news if he's got a serious injury there for the Argentina side. We're hoping to employ his services in the Copa America. 5-0 to Fiorentina. Nicoli, dangerous ball dealt with by Pioli, but here's Seno to drive it back through. Whatever Roger achieved now, it will be no more than a consolation. They've been very much second best on the day, thanks to their desperate defending in the first half.
Well, we've got a situation now where Foggia, they must say to themselves, do we just try and restrict the number of goals we're going to concede, or do we push forward? Because as a force going forward, they've been rather predictable. They haven't really created too much, and I think that Fiorentina are not going to make it any easier for them. They're just going to sit there, back in numbers, and allow themselves to try and play on the break. And as we've seen, they've done that to severe consequences as far as Foggia are concerned.
Rainey with the throw. This is Xhaka. Bresciani. There was a trip there, but the referee allowing Mandelli to go on. A whole cluster of bodies colliding. Down goes Bresciani. And it's harmlessly away from Fiorentina's point of view for a goal kick. Too many goals in our featured matches in recent weeks, so at least it's pleasing to see some goals go in today. 5 so far. I know a lot of you at home have enjoyed the Italian games that we've covered this season, the high technique we've experienced in the matches. Certainly some spectacular goals too. Among our greatest fans, a couple from up in Kearsley in Bolton, Dot and Michael Martin, just to mention them. They're a blind couple, but they still enjoy the matches every week, following the games on Channel 4, and I hope you continue to do so. It's Korobi there, experienced player, indeed the club captain of Fiorentina, but the president doesn't fancy him apparently, so he doesn't get too many chances. Now in Italy that does happen. The president makes his feelings known. The coach doesn't agree. It doesn't always matter. Out by Facenda. Seno. This is Nicoli. Little clash off the ball. Batistuta, who seems to be okay now. And then Facenda gets a whack from Nicoli. Lorenzo Dara, wearing 14 for Fiorentina. About to make his entrance, I think. Looks like Facenda going off. Some clapping on the bench to make sure the urgency is maintained. They keep it going now. Fiorentina, the points are safe, but they still want to bow out in style. Off goes Facenda. And on comes Lorenzo Dana. 21-year-old defender who came from Como back in November. Orlando. Scorer of that outstanding goal. Number 5 for Fiorentina. Pioli. Had to go down in the end.
It's nice to see some of the young talent coming on there for Fiorentina. In recent weeks, maybe even recent months, there's never been an opportunity to allow these players to get experience because the pressure's been so much. But today, the result is there, the game's over, and these 2 young players that have come on have got an opportunity to try and make the place.
Not by Maragini. Seno underneath as well. Didn't get there. before the Fiorentina defender who went crashing to the ground and seemed to be in some trouble. Di Mauro was, in fact. It's Mascotto, looks to have a good touch. No way through. Di Biagio trying to find Bresciani. And good covering then by Carnashali. Fiorentina, remember, haven't been relegated for 55 years. So it really would be a crushing blow to them if they are sent down. Mascotto with the best of clearances. Another corner then to Foggia. Trailing 5-0. It's a hot afternoon. Di Mauro on that near post there. Effenberg. Paini though with the tackle, and a free kick to Fiorentina. The captain taking the kick himself. Orlando. Here's Di Mauro. Now Nicoli for Foggia. Deli had made the run ahead of him. Petrescu. Out by Lupi. Bayano. Out goes Dalla. Well, the referee tried to allow the advantage, but couldn't do so in the end.
Looking at that, Peter, that decision could have went anyway. I mean, section 2-3s on that one.
Carnashali away from Bresciani. Oh, what a mistake then. Now Mascotto. Is this going to be a goal for him? Well, it had to be. And the young substitute has struck for Fiorentina, and they now lead 6-0. And well, you've got to put that one down to the goalkeeper, Joe.
Yeah, and also the perseverance of young Mascotto here. He's went determined for it. The goalkeeper has made a bit of a boo-boo, but it's a great moment for a young kid. Tremendous.
Well, his first goal, he'll remember that one in the years to come. Fairly simple for him in the end, but he kept going there. Good perseverance, and he kept his head to finish it all off. 10 minutes to go. 6-0. Fiorentina lead Foggia. Petrescu. And there's a goal back from Biagio. Cleanly struck, and right out of the blue, Foggia have pulled the goal back.
Well, that's some consolation, not only in the game. I mean, they don't really deserve anything from the game. I think they've been well and truly outclassed, but Di Biagio hits that one there. But I think if you analyse it, the season they've had, I mean, I think we've got to realise in Great Britain here that a club like Foggia, I mean, the expectation for them in the season is to survive, and they have done that, and they've done that with a little bit to spare. To finish on a game like today and be beaten 6-6-1 or whatever the final score will be is a bit of a disappointment. So that's a small consolation.
Well, his 5th goal of the season, and his first in 16 matches. Di Biagio, Monza player, and really the find of the season for Foggia. An untidy collision there involving the aggressive Bianchini. He's the man with the 2 settings off and umpteen bookings in the last 9 games, remember. Effenberg taking the throw, finding Carnashali. Lupi. Studa, foul by him though on Nicoli. Free kick taken from the wrong place, but quickly, the referee wasn't looking. Seno wanting support. Finds it now with Nicoli. Now Mandela, a lovely turn, and we watching at half-time his superb goal. Recent goal when he turned the defender. You'd have been proud of that one, Joe. We were watching at half-time.
Yeah, the goal he scored at half-time, and the one that he's taken, the one at half-time he took the other way. In this particular incident where he's brought the defender in tight to him and he's committed him. And if he hadn't fouled him there, he was in where maybe an opportunity to get a shot on goals.
25, Mandela, but this is his 7th club, so he's yet to settle. Now Xhaka with the free kick, tantalisingly across, and the flag was up in Fiorentina's favour. Pushing there, I think, spotted by the referee. As the man knows his team have been outmanoeuvred today. They've got one goal back. Effenberg with Karaschali. Caini. Now then to Nicoli. Petrescu to Seno. Oh, good save. Really fine acrobatic stop then by the goalkeeper.
That's a good move here. It started with Seno there. Visciani just laid it in the path.
It's hit by Mandela with some force. Now Xhaka. Off goes Vascotto, whose confidence will be sky high after that goal. Maiano with the pass. It's Vascotto again. That was Bianchini with another rugged challenge. Very aggressive defender. He's caught Orlando. I don't fancy that one too much.
Well, I think he's seen it coming. I think he's caught him, but not as badly. He left his foot there.
Orlando is injured for the tackle from Bianchini. Well, the crowd has gone quiet here, and that really because the news has filtered through that Genoa have equalised against Milan. Fortunato with the second goal for Genoa, just trying to work out what that means. And I'm told it would mean Genoa would be safe. Fiorentina will then be involved in a playoff with Brescia, and Udinese would go down. Joe Jordan's worked it out. Milan are relegated and Swindon promoted. What do you mean by that? Caini. Di Biagio. 5 minutes to go. Now maybe another chance here for Foggia, and Managini to the rescue. As Petrescu went through, he's in there again. And now he has scored. Petrescu. What do you make of that one? Some of the defending today leaves quite a bit to be desired, I think.
Yeah, well, from Fiorentina's point of view, here, there'd be an accumulation, really. Accumulation of errors. Left their keeper exposed, but when it gets to 6-1 as it was prior to this goal there, certain players just look at it and then they lose their concentration. That's what's happened there, and they're paid for it. But as we stated prior to going too much into the game, both teams defensively this season have had their problems, and well, we've seen it in clear evidence today from both parties, how they've found themselves, especially Fiorentina, how they've found themselves as low down and in such a dangerous position as they are.
Petrescu trying to feed Nicoli, and Orlando is back defending for Fiorentina. 6-2. But it may not be enough because Udinese have now equalised against Roma. Branca with the goal there, and the An ex-Fiorentina player, Branca, and the implications of that are that Fiorentina would go down. It's got very quiet in the stadium. Baiano, he's got Batistuta up, still Baiano, and Effenberg couldn't turn it in, and Foggia somehow scrambled it away. But all this really pales into insignificance if no scores remain, because Fiorentina, for the first time in 55 years, will be in Serie B next season. Unless there's another dramatic twist to the tale. Xhaka. Easily dealt with by Maragini. This is Effenberg. I think there's an injury, though.
Yeah, we have a situation here, Peter. I mean, obviously it can change in the last 5 minutes, but we have Fiorentina who have absolutely run riot for the majority of the game, and are winning 6-2. And by what we see from the public here, it looks as if they could still go down.
I don't know whether that's filtered through to the players out there. They're all looking rather dejected at the moment, with Genoa having scored against Milan. That's 2-2 there. Udinese have just scored. It's 1-1 in the Olympic Stadium, as we try to keep abreast of events. Mauro Gardashali. I think there's another goal being scored, which I shall hear about in a moment. And Brescia are 3-1 up against Sampdoria. So our statistician, Ray Della Pietra, who's working all this out for us, will now inform me what that means. To stay with this attack first. Drescu. Almost linking with Bresciani. Well, Brescia and Fiorentina would go down if there's no further change. So Udinese will be safe, and Genoa. Well, that's the final score, I'm told. Genoa 2, Milan 2. So Genoa are definitely safe, and the bookmakers, I'm told, had stopped taking bets on that one being a draw. That's the outcome there, 2-2. Pioli happy to let it run out. Under pressure from Petrescu. And all around the ground, everyone is asking the same question. What's going on elsewhere? Orlando. Now Seno for Foggia. They're just going through the motions now. As we move into the last few seconds, Bresciani. Emil Fascotto. Seno. We're now into injury time. The flag is up against Petrescu. And it's not looking good for Fiorentina.
Now, I get the impression, Peter, from what we're seeing here in the way that the players are, the Fiorentina players, that they sense that there's something not going right for them in the other games. It's a shame, but they put so much in today, but it's all about what you do throughout the season. And after Christmas, with the politics that went on at the club, it had an effect on the players, and they're paying the consequences for it.
Another offside. Mandelli is the player caught this time. And I'm told there will be a helicopter arriving to whisk the players away if all doesn't go well. They're so worried about the crowd's reaction. They take their football so seriously up in Florence, as indeed they do all over Italy. And there is the final whistle. So Fiorentina have come safely through their last game, winning by 6 goals to 2. But the whistles all around the Artemio Franchi Stadium will tell you that the fans don't think it's enough. We're still awaiting confirmation of the other scores. Genoa, we know, are safe. And as things stood a couple of minutes ago, Fiorentina were on their way down and wouldn't even feature in a playoff. But looking back on this game, Joe, it sort of lacked an air of reality, really, didn't it?
Yes, I think so. Fiorentina had to win the game. They went about it in the correct fashion. They got the goals early. They killed it off. And Foggia never really is that if the results are as what has been said, they're playing in the second division next year.
Well, we wanted goals today. At least we had that. This was Orlando. It's probably the pick of the bunch, Joe.
Yes, I think so, because I would say the other goals that resulted in beating the offside trap. But this one here, where Orlando's he's received the ball from Baiano, he's shown a great degree of skill. I mean, people take that for granted, but the player, his judgment, the weight of the ball is absolutely perfection. And I would say, yes, that is the pick of the bunch today.
And this was young Vascotto.
Vascotto, yeah, as I said earlier, his determination has given him the opportunity to get the chance, and also
against Foggia, the Lucky Omens, the Garlics, what have you, Mangoes, God knows what was out there, but didn't bring them the luck they may need. But the result here is emphatic enough, 6-2. We're still waiting the other scores throughout the season. A look back at all the events of the 92-93 season in Gazzetta Football Italia next Saturday. Milan are the champions, but it's not been plain sailing for them, or indeed for all Serie A goalkeepers. Keep smiling from Peter Brackley. Goodbye for now from us all here.